Hello everybody, it's Murialda here once again, and welcome to a behind the scenes look at how we make Let's Browse happen. Yes, we make it happen. So, 99% of Let's Browse is you guys and your suggestions. But there is still some behind the scenes stuff that needs to be done to just get the streams ready and everything. And I figured, hey, maybe someone will be interested in taking over for me someday, so here's pretty much how I do it. First thing I want to suggest is make a new profile, a new user account, and only use it for streaming. This is my recording profile. Yes, you see, this one is my normal profile, but I'm in Murialda recording. And that is to keep things clean. This way you don't have to have all your normal programs running. Like, you can do all of your browsing to, the porn sites and everything, and it's not going to pop up when you log in when you're browsing on here. But yes, make a new user account, make a new profile, first step. So the next step, really, is, okay, we're ready to get ready. So first thing is to clean up after ourselves. So the last stream, there was the last thumbnail. And I just put it on the desktop just because it's convenient. And then we'll go in here and we'll go to my recordings folder and we'll just delete this. I've already copied it to a more permanent location. There's not too terrible much space on my C drive since it is a smaller SSD, but it's enough for the stream. That's another thing. Get an SSD. I kept overloading OBS until I put in an SSD. And then we're just going to empty the recycle bin and get rid of everything. So yay. Well, now that we just deleted the thumbnail, I guess we need to make a new thumbnail. So I have a very, very old version of Photoshop, and that's all that I need, and it works perfect for my needs. So we just wait for it to load. And while we're waiting for it to load, we'll go ahead and load our browser, because that's part of it. We don't want that, and we want this to be full screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a screenshot of MFC, because that's what I typically use for the backgrounds of my thumbnails. Scroll down a bit and get past the big banner ad, and then just press Alt Print Screen, and it's going to take the screenshot. So we can go ahead and minimize that back down. And we'll go to Photoshop. Normally I do this on another computer that has a little bit more memory and everything, so it may be a little bit slow and stuff here. But so another tip that is very useful for when you're making thumbnails is have a template. So right now you're looking at the wrong location. So my templates are on Neptune, D. Okay, so under YouTube, and I've got all my folders and stuff. This is where I keep all my Let's Browse episodes. And as you can see, we've got quite a bit. And there is my template, Let's Browse Thumb Template. So it's nice and simple. It's got a few layers. It's got some text and some pictures of Tamamo. And you just get it, lay out a generic template that you want your thumbs to kind of look like. You can always do super fancy stuff and turn off caps lock. And I did something strange. Somehow I turned off all of my toolbars. No. Let's try closing and reopening, because I have no idea how I did that. Hopefully they pop back up. There we go. Okay, so now we should be able to just do open recent. There we go. So as I said, I took a screenshot, so we're going to go down to the layer that has the screenshot, and we're just going to paste. And there we go. Now that's in there. Next thing I'm going to do is update the episode number, which I have left as a text field. So we go to text, click in the 23 and delete that, and put in 55. And now I like to have this little black outline, and to do that, I have to first right click on the layer and rasterize it. Turns it basically into a bitmap, and then we can go edit and stroke. And since I do this, 6 pixels is perfect for me in black. Okay, and now the 55 has the black outline. The Let's Browse logo and the episode number are different layers, so I can edit one without having to worry about the other one. So this Tamamo in the bottom right is basically a static image. It's basically my channel image that I stole from somewhere. So she stays there. This one, I really like this one, but she can go for another one. So since it's Valentine's Day today, we have 2 different Tamamos, and I have to decide which one I want to use. So we got Tamamo Cat giving us some chocolate, and we got Tamamo making some chocolate. So since I posted this one in Discord, I think I'll use this one. This is by Weisbeak. So yeah, this is the one I think I want to use. Now sometimes I'll edit these and delete the backgrounds and stuff, make it transparent, but sometimes it's not worth it. So we'll drop this into Photoshop. We'll select everything and we'll copy. Yeah, this one, the background is too complex and everything, and I don't think she'll look good without the background, especially with how her ears are going out of frame and her hands are going out of frame. So we'll just leave the whole background, and to make it fit a little bit better, we'll just put a black border around it. So since we copied it, let's go over here. Let's go to the layer with the Tamamo we want to remove. We'll turn her off, and we'll paste. And as we can see, this Tamamo is quite large. So we'll just move her over and resize her. Usually there's a little corner thing there. Maybe if we do a free transform. There we go. So I'm holding down Control as I go to the corner, and that locks it. Locks the. Okay, it's not Control. Control T. It's Shift. That's what you're supposed to do. Shift, and then it locks the aspect ratio as you resize it. So now that she's off the screen, we'll bring her back up. And we don't really want her hidden by the Let's Browse, so we'll shrink it down a little bit more. Go up a little bit. And you fiddle around. Now remember, everything that I'm doing, I'm sure there is better ways to do it, but this is how I do it. So anyways, we've got to resize. We're going to press enter and lock it in. And then once again, we're going to go up to edit stroke and give it a black border, just so it blends a little bit better. Yeah, it hides some of the picture of the day and everything, but it is what it is. So that's how I make a thumbnail. Let's go ahead and save it. And I'm going to save as, and we're going to save it to the desktop. We don't want it as a Photoshop document. We want it as a JPEG. And we'll just say, let's browse 55 thumb and delete the template copy part of it. So yay. We now have the thumbnail on the desktop. Close Photoshop. No, we don't want to save the template. And there it is. And now we can delete these 2 temporary Tamamo pictures. Clean it up. So click on it. Yay, we have our thumbnail. So what do we do with the thumbnail? Well, we put it on YouTube, but before we do that, once again, we're going to go to our YouTube folder, and let's browse 55. Just because I like to keep everything together, we'll also make a copy of it here. I said we'll make a copy of it here. Right click and drag. Okay. Yes, this is a classic case of trying to talk while you're doing things that you normally do a million times, and all of a sudden you forget how you do it. So just click and drag and drop. So now it's in our Let's Browse 55 folder. And just so you can see, Let's Browse 54. It's got the video, it's got the suggestions, and it's got the thumbnail. So back to 55. So we can click on that. So we'll get to uploading the thumbnail in a bit. First, we want to handle these suggestions. So once again, I'm sure there's better ways to do this, but I make a text file with all these suggestions just because it's easier for me to search for things if I need to, and it makes sense to me how I have this laid out. So I do some indents, so the main line is the person's name, and then the character's name, and then the links. And if there's multiple links, like with Gordon Werner and Blackheart this week, just put them all in the line. So I do know we have some more from the Discord, so I'm just going to copy. And Discord is nice because it always puts the characters' names and everything. It gives you that little preview. So paste, 11th Time Lord, delete some extra crap. But this makes it easy because I can just rearrange things a little bit and I don't have to look things up. And home tab and delete these two rows. And do the same thing for this one. And paste. Then delete these two rows. So like I said, Discord makes it a little bit easier. If we were doing it from YouTube, so we can go to youtube.com/comments. So YouTube is stupid, and if you try to just view the comments on the latest video, like say I go to Let's Browse 54, a lot of times it doesn't list all the comments, and it's very easy to miss them. Like right now, we're not seeing Gordon's suggestions. We see where he's complaining about Utah, but we're not seeing his suggestions. Sometimes if you search by newest first, they'll show up, but not always. So either document the suggestions as they come in, or just all videos. All videos. Or do the all videos view. If you have a lot of videos and you get lots of comments, this may not work for you. But basically you would just go and copy the comment and everything. Like Mindy doesn't give us the names. So what I do is I open them in the tabs and then I get the names and put it in my Word document. And if you want, you could make the bookmarks now, but I usually don't do it now. I usually wait until Wednesday to start actually preparing because people like to edit their suggestions sometimes. But yeah, so anyways, back to the Word document. We got everything. We're just going to save it, and yay. To save some time, I already did go and make bookmarks for all the other ones. So I'm just going to dock the Word document to the right and the browser window to the left, and open up the suggestions. Once again, I know there's probably easier ways to do this, but this is how I do it. So anyways, the first one, so we're going to bookmark it, and we're going to give it a folder under Let's Browse called 11th Time Lord. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and close this one, so that's Elizabeth, and then we got a Nia, so we'll bookmark her, and since there's already a folder, yay, makes it a little bit easier. And then you just do that for every single suggestion, and eventually you'll get quite a few folders in your bookmarks. And I just find it easier to use bookmarks to handle these suggestions than any other way. So yeah, that's done. So we can close the suggestions, and we can go ahead and remaximize this. And I'm just using the keyboard shortcuts, so holding the Windows button and the arrow keys moves the window around and all that fun stuff. And I think we can go ahead and close the browser for now. And we can go ahead and close Discord. And we can even close the Let's Browse folder. So now let's start actually preparing the stream. So I always used to laugh at this feature and how people claimed it was the best thing ever in Linux, and then Windows 10 got it and I still laughed at it. And it actually turns out to be very useful for the Let's Browse streams. And that is the multiple virtual desktops in Windows 10. So I have 3 desktops. The desktop 1 is the main screen that I'm browsing on. Desktop 2 has all of my programs like recording software and stuff. And desktop 3, I forgot I had started this to test things. But yes. Desktop 3 is where I have my slideshow of wallpapers, because we all know we love my slideshow of wallpapers. So for now, we're going to go back to desktop 3. So once again, there is a nice little keyboard shortcut, Control, Windows key, and then the left and right arrows to switch to desktops. So we're on my slideshow desktop. So once again, open up Windows Explorer. I've made copies on the C drive for the desktops because I want to keep the network traffic to a minimum since I'm streaming. And then I just put them under the temp folder and walls for intro. And click the Manage button and Slideshow. And that's all you have to do. Well, you also have to set OBS up. But this is what does the slideshow of the desktop wallpapers at the beginning. So now we're going to go back to desktop 2. And as you can see, I've got OBS up and running because I'm actually recording right now, so I need some recording software. I also use Snaz. This is for the countdown timer. If it ever opens, go to the Chronos tab, and we've got my countdown timer. So I set it to 5 minutes and 5 seconds. The 5 seconds is just for convenience sake, in case I'm in the middle of something. And I've read for like streaming, you want to give people time at the beginning of the stream to join. That's why I set it at 5 minutes. Some people go crazy and set it like a half hour or 15 minutes, and that's just too long for me. But if you're a bigger channel, you want as many people there at the start of the stream as you can get. So that's why they do these long countdowns. And if you just click start, it starts the countdown and everything. And Snaz will put it creates a text file and it updates it as the timer ticks down, and that's how it works. And you add a text source in OBS to read that file. So anyways, let's go to OBS now. So as you can see, I've got multiple different scenes. I'm not actually going to click on them because it'll switch the scene, and we don't want to do that. So normally like this walls for intro, countdown, music, and thumbnail image are not in the streaming scene. I put them there just for the demonstration purposes for this. So now we can start doing some stuff with OBS. So as you can see, I've got the microphone recording my microphone. I've got desktop audio recording the desktop. Sources, display capture. Obviously, I'm capturing my entire display. It's just easier for me the way I'm doing the browsing. like if you're watching a video streamer, a game streamer, they just record the game. They don't record the whole desktop. The mic auxiliary is the microphone. The Where's UL is, you know, you can see it's turned off right now. If we click this, there's the Where's UL thing that I do. It's just a little joke thing, you know, ripping on Fat for not giving us UL. But it's just a simple picture source, which it points to an image file on my temp folder. The YouTube comments. We'll get to that in a second because that's a little bit more complicated. But we have this thumbnail image. So if I make it visible right now, you can see nothing happens because we deleted last thumbnail. So we need to actually modify this. And we'll point it to the new thumbnail. If I didn't rename it with the episode number and I just left it Let's Browse Thumb, we wouldn't have to do this step. But because I rename it with the episode number, I have to update the thumbnail every single time. So, okay. And now if we show it, there's the thumbnail. So music, Outfoxing the Fox. So this is for the music that plays at the beginning of the stream. It's a, let's see, what type of source is it? It is a media source. So if we do the properties, once again, it's just pointing to a file, which I have Outfoxing the Fox extended, OGG. I actually did extend the audio file so that it would fill the whole 5 minutes. And you can do all of your little settings. And if we make this source visible, it starts playing. So yay. This is the countdown source. So as I said, this is a text GDI plus source. And if we look at the properties for it, so we've got the font. This is the font that I use for my thumbnails and everything, so I kept it the same for the countdown. It's pointing to the text file that Snaz creates, and it does all these little fancy smanchy settings, which is pretty much the defaults. I do have outline on it with the outline size 2 to give it a little black border, just to make it stand out a little bit. Tip I've heard in the past, you know, watching anime, there's subtitles all the time. If you have white text with a black outline, you can read it on any surface. So white text with a black outline, it's good for you. And then I also have some background opacity on this just to make it stand out a little bit more from the background as well. And then the walls for intro source. So this is a, I think it's a window capture. Yeah, it's window capture. And since it's doing the Windows slideshow, it's actually dllhost.exe:"picture viewer slideshow." Yeah, good luck finding that. The trick is you have the slideshow running, and then it'll show up in this list. So yay. We'll go ahead and cancel this, just in case I made any changes. And if we turn this on, hey, we got the background slideshow. So now we have this YouTube comments. This is a little bit more complex. So once again, this needs updated every stream because YouTube changes the URL every stream. So to get this URL, I use Internet Explorer for this because it actually does one thing that Firefox Pale Moon doesn't do. So anyways, you open up your live dashboard, youtube.com/live-dashboard. And while we're here, we might as well just change the thumbnail, wait for it to upload, change the title. and change some text. So, work and snow be damned, we don't need you anymore. We don't need that anymore. So, just a little simple description that no one will read. Happy late V-Day. Did you get your chocolates from Tamamo? So yeah, you do a nice little description. Something else that needs done is advanced settings. Wait for it to load. Enable live chat. And I'm trying to get it so that people can actually do the chat. One of the common complaints, especially from Chocro, is it keeps blocking him, thinking it's spam. So I'm trying to turn off spam messages, but it doesn't always work. And then we scroll down, and obviously we have to enable age restriction because people like suggesting cast-off figures. So save that, close that window. So yay. Here's where you can get your stream key. I'm not going to click the reveal button because then I have to change more stuff, but this is where the stream key is. And this is the URL you put into OBS. So I'm changing this to live chat. This is new. I've never seen this before, but YouTube created this top chat. I may see if I can figure out how to turn that off. I want you to be able to see everything. I don't want YouTube to hide what it wants to hide. But anyways, we're going to pop out the chat, which will open it up in its own little window. And the reason I'm doing this in Internet Explorer, we can actually close this window now, is it leaves the URL window so we can easily copy it. Like in the Pale Moon browser, it actually does not leave the URL. So we copy that and we paste it here. So technically we could close this window now, but I leave it open for the hell of it in case I ever want to look at it while I'm streaming. I've got the chat up on a different computer screen as well, but it's in there now, so now it'll be able to read the YouTube comments and put them on the screen. I do have this CSS going on to style the chat a little bit so that it's not this white background and everything. And I did get it from Frosthaven, which is a YouTuber. I've never watched him, but when I Googled how to do this, his stuff came up. And I modified it just a little bit, but like I said, it's making the chat like a invisible background. It's styling it a little bit, and it handles how it scrolls up and the chat disappears. If you're really interested in this, I might post it somewhere for you to see, but you want to do it yourself too. So you just saw it kind of pop up a little bit there, and it looks like it stuck with the top chat. So we'll have to see how this works out. This is new and I'm not liking it, but yay. So yeah, that's basically getting OBS set up after it's been set up the first time. I do have some hotkeys set up, so we'll just go to settings real quick and look at the hotkeys. So to start streaming, I have Control 0. To stop streaming, Control 0. Starting recording, I have Control 0 and Control 9. So if I'm streaming, I'm also recording. If I want to just record and not stream, Control 9. And then on the end cards source, little scene, is Control 4. That is what I do at the very end, so it's basically the thumbnail and chat, but no countdown, no music. In the streaming scene, Control Y shows the where the fuck is UL. And to switch to the streaming, it is Control 3. Thumbnail is the very first thing you see. It's got the thumbnail, it's got the countdown, it's got the music and the chat. I've got that set to Control 1. I also have the music for that plays set to the Control 9 and Control 0. So it actually will start playing the music when I start streaming. And then wallpaper slideshow with countdown and comments. So it's the wallpaper slideshow, countdown, comments, and it also does the music as well. That is Control 2. I've got Control M set to mute myself, so I start the stream muted so you don't hear me while it's doing the little intro thing. And then when I start the stream, I press Control M and then I can talk. So if the stream ever starts and you don't hear me, I forgot to press Control M. And that's pretty much the hotkeys. I'll just show you my settings for streaming. So yay. Output for, yeah, this is kind of more what you would care about. I don't really know what most of these settings do, but I found that this works for me. So that's the streaming settings, that's the recording settings, audio settings, and replay buffer. And that's pretty much how I have my OBS set up. So yay. I think technically we're ready to stream now. So we got the YouTube set up, we got OBS set up, we got SNAS ready to go. We've got the wallpapers going, and we've got all of our bookmarks set up. So yeah, there's surprisingly a lot of work to do to get ready for the stream, but it's not hard or anything. It's just stuff to do. But anyways, I just, like I said, thought I would give you guys a little behind the scenes look. Don't even know if I'll post this. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I'm out. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.